Hey, how's everybody doing today? You know what's exciting is today we are going to Clinton, New York. It's an hour and 15 minutes for our shop, and we're gonna take apart a stream that has gone wrong. Wasn't constructed quite right. We're gonna rip it all apart. We're gonna put a brand new liner in there. We're gonna rock it out the way we rock. And you know what? I'm just happy to bring you along for the ride. All right, Jay, so we're gonna get started here, right?
Yeah.
We got our plywood road down.
We do.
Usually what saves us from killing grass, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so we're gonna pull all these boulders, get started with all that, get all this stuff out, all these aquatic plants and lilies. We're gonna save some of them, but not all. And then we're gonna rock this stream the way we do it to make that liner last. And look at all that sediment. Oof. All right, so yesterday we got this thing ripped out. Now we're ready to start putting stuff back together. We still got part of the stream to rip apart, which is right down here. But you know what? We're gonna do this in stages so we don't have to keep moving our plywood and try and not damage the lawn best we can. Down here is gonna be the final stage, which we have this big earthen pond on the other side. So we're gonna have to sandbag this so we can pump it out and get that new liner in there. We're also going to change this up a little bit because right now the stream is kind of boring. So we're going to shift things and make it just a little bit more interesting. Look at this slop. You got to love the slop. Got a little more to clean out. We saved these irises so we can plant them back. And we're going to be able to make this stream just a little bit more interactive than it was. Start up there today. We're going to start putting in a waterfall. All right, Jay, so what do we got here?
These are our two 3-inch pipes we got coming from the pond over there that are returning, that we're going to hook up to a jet on one side and 2 spillways on the other.
So when we took this apart though, what happened? We found these bulk fittings, right?
Yeah, we found these bulk fittings that weren't actually hooked up right. They weren't, the bulk fittings connected to 2 male adapters, but it never really attached to the liner other than silicone. So
nothing but a big leak for how many years probably,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it looks like they tried to seal it up with some bentonite here, but that just isn't going to work.
I guess in theory it's a great idea, but it didn't work. So normally a bulk fitting, you're going to have your liner pinched in between it. Instead, they just ran the pipe through the liner, tried to silicone it and throw some bentonite on it, which is definitely not going to work out. All right, so we got the sand is all padded in the bottom of the stream. We're putting our underlayment in right now. Underlayment's necessary to protect that liner, especially when you're doing renovation work. You never know what could have been in that ground previously. So you could see over here that this is all the sand we put in. That has been the original grade, which has a little bit of stone and stuff in it, which we don't want to protrude through the liner. So we'll put this extra underlayment under there before we put our liner in, just to help with the longevity of the liner. So what we got going here is we're going to use a spillway, and we're going to disperse a 3-inch line into 2 2-inch spillways. We're going to clean up the liner. We're going to put this 6-inch seam tape on there over the hole that's already marked, because that's going to reinforce that liner and make that liner 3 times as thick when we go both sides. So when you twist the bulk fitting nut on, it doesn't twist the liner up and screw up your watertight seal. All right, so we got a lot of the stream rocked on this upper part anyway. We still got probably about another 50 feet to go. But all this in here is rocked out. Jason's up on top hooking up that spillway I just showed you. And that just helps diffuses the water more so you don't get that fire hose forced look. All right, so the seam tape is on. What do you got to do next, Jay?
I got to come to the back. You can see where we have the hole. cut from before. I'll have to cut the back of that out. Then I can fit on our spillway. The back end is where we'll connect the hose.
We don't want any leaks, do we, Jay?
No.
That's what they had before. See, they didn't do these bulk fittings. All they did was cut a hole in the liner, run the pipe through, and thought silicone around the pipe would work. But when you got a freeze-thaw cycle, things are going to move up and down. You can't have that. This is going to be foolproof right here. And there it is. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap up on day 3. It took a day just to rip stuff out, and then on Friday we got the liner and set some rocks. Today we worked on this awesome looking waterfall over here, and Jason's up there finishing that spillway. Well, how cool is this going to be? So this is nice and wide. We're going to be able to put a few lilies in here off to the side where the current isn't really flowing that strong. We'll put some of the aquatic plants and the iris back in here. We got some great interactive stones that we put over here on the side, so that way if you want to transition down and around you can, and that way the water level will be right in here, so you'll be close to that stream waterfall area. All right, so we're on day 5. We had this whole stream, we got it all ripped out. We started rebuilding it from pretty much from the driveway up. The thing is, when you got a meandering stream like this, we can't really just put one piece of liner in, so we got to seam it multiple times. And I'm gonna just give you a little idea on how that works. So we got Jason and Austin over here are prepping the liner. They already got the double-sided seam tape underneath, which actually just a little bit more protection. And now Jason's kind of cleaning this up with the EPDM primer that comes in a quart can. And we're gonna do all the way down through there. Austin's already got that seam tape ready, which is a 6-inch cover tape. You always use like a 3-inch double-sided to sandwich the liners. And then just as a precaution and a necessary thing is we're gonna go over it with a 6-inch. One of the other things we do is keep it taut is we put these clamps on. That way it kind of gives you 2 guys to be able to work that seam tape right on down, and we just don't want any bubbles in there. All right, Jay, so what do we got going on today? We're gonna rip this lower part apart, right?
Yeah, we're gonna dam it up, drain it down, get it tore apart. So what they have is a dirt bottom pond here on the other side of the bridge there. This part here is linered. So whoever built it linered this side of it. So in order for us to get that liner up, we gotta get the water out. The only way to get the water out is to pump it out. And if we don't dam it up, it's just gonna keep coming back in.
So we're gonna sandbag it.
Yes, sir.
It's a whole different word of sandbagging right here. We are actually gonna sandbag it. All right, so what we found is when we started ripping this apart, it had some serious water loss. I'm not quite sure. This is what happens when you hire like landscapers and stuff and not pond guys to build water features. But look at that liner. I'm not quite sure how they thought that would hold water. So basically what was happening is all the water was spilling out the sides and not really going back into the pond. I mean, yeah, look at Jay's laughing because look at this. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't mean that they're bad landscapers. It's just that they're not very good at building ponds, and that's where we come in. We're gonna fix this thing up. We're gonna put a whole new liner in this bottom part. We're gonna have to pull all those plants and rocks out, and we're gonna get at it. All right, gentlemen, some days we get lemons, right? Yeah. We do get lemons. So you see all that slop on the bank? That's what's underneath there. As Austin throws some gravel on there, we'll show them what we mean. It's no joke. Look at that. Sweet, right? So anyway, what we're gonna do is, this is all muck and mire and everything else, and we can't scoop it out because it'll be all over the place. So I don't remember which one of these two gentlemen had the idea, but we put fabric down. Let's just say Jason and Austin came up with the idea. How's that? It's like one of those everyone gets a trophy kind of thing, right?
Blue ribbon for participation.
Yeah, blue ribbon. There you go. So we're going to lay underlayment on there. We're going to throw a bunch of gravel, because right to the left of Austin, you see how that's water starting to come up? Well, it's clean water. We'll be able to get our pump in there and de-water this particular area. Well, that's it in Clinton, New York. That's a wrap. We finished this thing up. You got to check this out. Just incredible.